Alright, so for this stitch tutorial, I'm using two different color yarns to represent the different row repeats. So we have green and pink, and this is just worsted weight yarn. And then I'm using a Susan Bates 6mm Tunisian crochet hook. So we're going to go ahead and start with the green. I already did my chain of 20, and we're going to go ahead and pull up loops to go ahead and start off this row. So you go through the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Go through the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. And you're going to do that to the very end of your row. You can work this stitch over any number of stitches, so even or odd. Alright, so we have our 20 stitches. Let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we have our 20 stitches on here. And now we're going to do our return pass. Yarn over, go through 1, yarn over, go through 2, 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 yarn over, go through 2. You're going to continue this until you get all the way to the end of the row. Alright, so now we have our foundation row. So for the Tunisian Crochet Full Stitch, you'll be going through the bars of the stitch. So unlike the other stitches where you go through the front, you'll actually be going through, I'm going to spread it out a little bit, the bars. So you see that space right here, that's where you'll be going through. And it is a 2-row repeat. So for the first row or the next row, you're going to be doing an increase, and then at the end you're going to be doing a decrease, and that's going to be in green. And then the pink yarn is going to be your decrease, increase row. I would also recommend using stitch markers as well. I have my stitch markers right here as well. And I'm going to show you how I put them on here too. So for the first row, you're going to be going through the first vertical bar and the second vertical bar. Like this. And that's going to be your first increase. Go through, pull up a loop. Right? And so then I make sure that I remember, I go ahead and just put a stitch marker on that loop, just so that I know that is my increase. Right, and then I'm going to go through the next one. And that first stitch can be a little bit like cumbersome, but once you go in, it will lay flat. We're going to go through, pull up a loop, pull up a loop, and I'm going to continue this till I get to the last few stitches. Alright, so we're coming up on the last few stitches. We have this stitch right here, and then the last 2 stitches. So we're going to go through this stitch, and then normally if you repeat the pattern, you would also go through this one. We're going to skip and then just do the last and go through the last stitch. Remember, the last stitch, you're going to go in between those 2. I mean, you're going to go behind the stitch and pull and make sure you're going in between those 2. And that's your first decrease. And it's going to look like there's a gap, and that you're putting 2 together. So if we count them, you should still have 20. 1 in our increase, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And now we can do our return pass. Alright, and this is where we're at. So you can see already it's starting to take shape. Now if you're like me and you have really tight tension, just loosen up on your tension a little bit and it'll lie flat better. Now we're going to do our color change. We're going to take our pink, and now we have to do the so now we're on the second row repeat, the second row. So how we did an increase right here, we're going to skip. So how we did an increase right here, we're actually going to skip this one, or skip this space right here, because you're only working the spaces. We're going to skip this space right here, and we're going to go straight into this one, right beside our increase. I'm going to get my pink ready. And we are going to skip and go straight into the next space, and I'm pulling up my pink. Just tightening. So that's your decrease, right? And then you're just gonna go through the stitches again, past the vertical bars, yarn over, pull up a loop. And you're going to be able to see it a lot better of what I'm doing. And we're getting close to the end. All right. And you know how we skipped that first space. We're going to be doing an increase and going through it. And then right here, we're going to make sure that we capture these 2 stitches, just like you would in regular Tunisian crochet, to keep those sides crisp and straight. Don't forget your stitch marker. And that just symbolizes that you've done your increase on that side. If we count our stitches again, we will have 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we will, in this row with the green, we increased and then decreased, and then on the next row we decrease and then increase. So it should always stay the same. Let's go ahead and do our return pass. Just going to tighten everything back up. Alright, this is what we're looking like. Now you will notice that the ends will look a little wonky. As long as you have the same number of stitches, you'll be fine. We're going to go ahead and switch to our green color. And for our increases, remember where your increases are going to go, right between the 2 vertical bars. There goes your increase. I'm going to go ahead and place my stitch marker. And then we're just going to go ahead and continue. We did our increase, and now we're going to keep on going to the end of the row. Alright, and then remember we're going to be skipping this space right here, and we're just going to go straight into the end, capturing those 2. And then we can do our return pass. Alright, so that's how we're looking so far. So for our next row, we're going to skip this space and go into the next space. So we're going to do our decrease, and we're going to go ahead and go through the space, pull up a loop, go through the space, pull up a loop, go through the space, pull up a loop, and just keep doing that to the end of the row. And as you can see, this is a very easy stitch, and it creates a very gorgeous pattern. It's like stacked bricks almost. And especially if you have like multiple colors, it looks so beautiful. Alright, we're coming up to the end of the row. Alright, so we're coming up on that increase. Increase, and then make sure you go through those two. Then return pass. Alright, and that's it. That's those 2 simple row repeats. And you can do this with different colors. You can do it with all one color. Just remember that you, in your one row, you're going to be doing an increase, decrease. And then in the next row, you're going to be doing a decrease, increase. Right? I'm going to do a few more rows and I'll be right back. Alright, so I am back. It got dark, so I had to turn on my ring light. But this is what it looks like after a few rows. Now let me take out the stitch markers. And I really like doing this when I have like 2 colors that I know will go really well together. And it really like transform the fabric. Now close up on the edges here, that's what they're gonna look like. And ignore this side. I was rushing, so they kind of look a little wonky, but that's what your floats are going to look like if you tuck them in correctly. That's what the back looks like. And yeah, that is the Tunisian Crochet Full Stitch. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure you leave a like. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. That's going to be it for today's video. And as always, create something gorgeous. Bye, guys.